cancer theories or tractors or any of the above. Will be fine.
Okay.
Ta-da, it's running again. So proceed. Proceeding.
Distinguishing factors.
Distinguishing fact. Oh, we're back to tractors.
Not necessarily.
Whatever works.
No, just
No, just distinguishing characteristics of the age.
Let's see what we got here. You don't wanna be in it?
No, just do what you want to do. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Sure. The audio is most important here. I'd like to see people too. Get the audio.
Okay.
Go ahead. Distinguishing features.
Of the age. Have those two things. I have a couple that I know have been changed. So that doesn't do any good. It originally had a magneto, but it doesn't anymore. It has a, I think it had a vertical distributor.
Change? You mean to make it better?
Well, in some people's eyes, yeah. Yeah, the ignition coil is a better thing than the magneto.
Okay.
Make sure
And of course, it's it got repainted at some point. You know when it did it get repainted shortly after it sold back in the mid '80s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm assuming it was red by spring.
Okay.
I think he got right in and did that.
Because that's right. Because it had a. It was a. You both said it had faded to a kind of a tan color. Are we talking about the age?
Carhartt orange.
Carhartt orange. The Carhartt orange Farmall H.
Carhartt.
Not too far removed from it. A little darker.
Carhartt.
Carhartt clothing.
McCormick's. You need more money.
He doesn't work for Carhartt anymore.
Don't care.
Brian wants me to ask for a raise, and I'm reluctant because that's the person that I am. Reluctant to ask for what I think I should have.
Yeah. Actually, brown duck is what calls it.
Brown duck.
Brown duck.
Brown duck.
You see, it was
That's what Carhartt calls
Oh,
It was wartime and things were not available.
there you go. Brown duck.
Good paint.
Now, what was well, what was EH good at doing? Well, I guess presumably it was good at doing everything.
Just
It was
everything
It was
in
build,
its day.
it was built as an all-purpose tractor, and it is good for doing everything, provided that you don't have too big of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But the how would you describe like the lugging ability, the ability to pull a plow?
I'll be at it in a moment. That looks like a real fact.
I don't know what's going on.
Whoa.
What?
A Snapple fact.
A Galapagos turtle can take up to 3 weeks to digest a meal. That is your Snapple Cap fact.
Well, you know, when it takes them an hour to move,
I got it.
they don't move fast.
Again, we'll be back to the age shortly.
Whatever.
It's real fact. 212.
This is why was the broom late for work? You overslept.
Oh gosh. That's pretty bad.
I didn't know they had riddles on them.
It's so funny.
Everything. It's funny that they put that on there. Must be a kid's popsicle.
Kids popsicle.
Yep.
It's okay, adults can enjoy them too. I know, it's just a real shame. So anyway.
I know, wasn't that like a two-bottom plow tractor, the H?
Yeah, 214s. Pulled that rather well.
Nothing more?
Mhm.
Couldn't do anything more?
I think he could have pulled a 314 with it in second
314,
gear
huh.
probably.
Okay. How many, what was that, a 5-speed?
Yeah,
or?
5, yeah.
Oh, okay. That didn't have a TA, right?
No, TAs hadn't been invented.
And then, of course, at some point, the IH buyers probably would have assumed that they became uninvented. That is, did not IH hang on to the TA for too long, maybe?
Oh, that could be.
Something about,
Yeah.
like, what's the point of this?
20, it was 20 some years though.
Well, when you have a power shift transmission, what's the point of the TA at that point?
Oh, this is true.
And I'm just learning this. I actually don't know much about John Deere transmissions, and I'm just learning a bit more about some of the transmissions in the 4020 and so on and so forth.
Well,
Yeah,
I think there's some
and
important information there.
Basically know nothing about them, but that
I'll
was
have to look at that next time.
the TAE came out in 54 and the power shift was 64, 63 maybe, something like that. But yeah, International kept using the TA or the TA right up through 70. Oh gosh, into the 80s.
Wasn't power shift clutchless shifting? Or
Yeah, on the John Deere back at the time. And you mentioned that. IH didn't really have a power shift other than the TA till pretty well into the 80s.
I guess that probably hurt them.
Yeah.
And actually, it's curious because I'm not a fan of the power shift. I'll
Mhm.
say that.
Yeah.
And because I've looked at the fuel economy records, and it does hurt your fuel economy, that power shift, it would appear.
Yeah, I think the transmission itself takes a lot of horsepower to operate, doesn't it? That's what I've kind of understood along the way anyway.
Yeah, funny thing is, the John Deere's I like the most are the 2-cylinders. Everything after that, I don't know.
Well, that's definitely the old ways, I'd say. You not only have, well, I guess not that much different. You not only have to use the clutch to shift, you just about have to stop. It's a dead stop, no matter whether you're going from first to second or from, pick a number, fifth to sixth.
Oh, why is that?
Just kind of the way they were for some reason. I don't know.
Wait, did you say you actually have to like bring the tractor to a dead stop? Or
Mhm.
wow.
Unless, well, the only guy I ever knew that owned a John Deere that I was around was Harold Headley, and he was kind of an overkill type person anyway. I drove his quite a bit. I drove Don Dixon's 520. Wilford had old B. I drove that quite a bit, Wilford Wilkinson, and I didn't have to come to a complete stop.
Smooth.
But like I say, Harold did. He's the one that always had a lot of instructions on how to do this.
I mean, how did the hand clutch feel compared to the other? I've never used them. I've never actually been on one of those. I've never. Well, I rode on one of those. I never actually drove
Yeah,
a
okay.
2-cylinder. I'd like to. But
Yeah. Well, it's a whole different dynamic because you're engaging it when you push it. You're actually putting it in. You're actually engaging, where the foot clutch is set up spring loaded, whatever, so that it's engaged. Unless basically it's engaged unless you tell it not to be.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you push the clutch, you're engaged. Where the John Deere with the hand clutch, you could be disengaged or engaged. Either one. So I don't know how to.
Like you
explain
tell it when, like you.
Hmm.
Is it like more like you engage it? You tell it when to engage,
Mm-hmm.
like act more actively,
Yeah.
and then you pull it. Like,
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble explaining it, but yeah.
I think I'm picking it up.
Okay.
It's like, it's more active demand,
Mm-hmm.
more active command to it.
I mean, as opposed to binary.
Well, he was saying with the foot clutch, the only time you really interact, like you push it in to disengage the clutch. So it's
That's what you call disengage, pushing it in.
yes. But
Okay.
with the hand clutch, you push it, you push it in to tell it when to engage, and then you may pull it out. It's not like spring. It's not a spring action, is what you're saying. Like you more manually do it.
The foot clutch. Or hand clutch.
hand
which
clutch,
is-
yeah.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
I
spring.
guess for you-
put it where you want it.
You asked what the feel was of them, I guess. And
Sure.
that would be the difference in the feel. Be something of that nature, something like that.
I don't know. It's interesting because John Deere during the '60s with the 4020, I want to say, became so popular because of this convenience. I want to say
Mhm.
people liked the convenience of the John Deere, but yet John Deere started to become very popular in the '50s, even though the 2-cylinder was really the antithesis of convenient. So I'm trying to figure that one out. John Deere was popular in the 50s, very inconvenient. It became more popular in the 60s and 70s because it was convenient. What's the deal here?
Well, look at it historically. I mean, I've been told this story anyway that old Sam Simpson told me once. He knew somebody from
See.
Waterloo, and that worked in the main whatever. But he said he told Sam one time that there was one engineer in that left in that of the old school. He says, you watch when he gets retired or forcibly or dies or forcibly retired or whatever. So within 2 years they'll have a 4-cylinder and a 6-cylinder and a foot clutch. And the point of that, I guess, for this conversation is they had a lot of things developed behind the scenes, like, so it didn't take. Yeah, they were way behind with the inconvenience and all that, but it didn't take them anything at all to pick up and catch up.
Farmers didn't know. They didn't care. They just care about what's on the margin.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, they cared, but
Move it up because the background noise. Make sure it's catching the talking. Go ahead. Keep talking.
that's all right. We don't need to talk anymore.
Oh, are you done talking?
Well, I'm on history now, so.
Well, that's interesting. wanted to make sure that we could hear you.
Anyway, it's in the fact that what would have maybe taken 6 years of development, engineering, etc., only took a couple of years because there were people working on some of that stuff that really didn't do them any good. Didn't
Yeah.
do them any good at that time.
Right. Well, no, I think I've heard about stuff like that. Like, in many ways, they were long overdue to bring all that stuff, to bring it into play.
Yeah.
But they had the old guys in power and had to wait till they were gone.
Had to wait till the old crew was gone.
Which is what I think
Bring it
which is
out.
what I guess I have to do, apparently. You know,
How's that?
I don't know.
Oh,
Just-
wait till the old crew is gone
I,
to try to get back on.
yeah, I don't know.
That is true in most.
But then again, I guess, I don't know, maybe God has willed this, or I don't know. I don't like it in many ways. I don't know.
I mean, come back to Iowa to join
Well, he tried
you.
a couple times.
I know.
And then it's like, man, the job is going well. I don't know. I don't know what to
Mhm.
freaking do.
Well,
So, from your
be
situation.
thankful for a good job.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Very much so. Would have preferred to have never left.
Yeah.
We know, yeah. You know. But there is survival and paying your bills to be accounted, take into account.
Yeah, how many, what kind of plow could the 350 pull?
We had a 3 bottom for the 350. It didn't pull it all that well.
You did have a 3 bottom for the 350.
Yeah.
And you see it didn't pull very well.
No, it didn't. It would lug down awful bad.
Huh.
See the 350. I mean, they had the 3 on it, and it was supposed to be a 3 bottom plow, a 3 plow tractor, as they would say. But they didn't. That was kind of an assumption that the H was a 3 plow tractor also, which it never was.
Mhm.
The reason we never tried the 3 bottom on the H was because okay, Mom?
I think she's okay. I think it's her usual.
No, the 3 bottom plow was hydraulic with a 2-way cylinder. It actually.
And now you're kind of losing me. Actually, I
Okay.
wish I knew more about that, but I don't.
Well,
But
just
that's why I'm asking these questions, because there's some things I really
simple
don't know much about.
simple hydraulics, a hose on each end of the cylinder. Let's see. You say you stick the hydraulic, the hose, boom, put the pressure to it down here. It pushes on the piston.
Oh, or rather, yeah. Well, yeah,
Understand.
I know about
Okay.
that stuff. The theory, but the setup, rather.
Okay. Yeah, you had 2-way hydraulic on the 350. The H didn't have that. You could only you could lift with it. You couldn't force it down.
Oh, okay, that's what that. Okay, huh? Okay.
Otherwise, there was a neighbor who had a 3 bottom. I should have done it sometime. I'd gone over, taken the H over and borrowed it and see if it would really pull or not. But anyway, I was also going to hook onto that 3 bottom plow with my 4-wheel drive Dodge pickup, but I never got around to doing that.
Which tractor? You've got a good story about both you and Grandpa were plowing at the same time. Can you tell about that and which tractors you were using?
Well, I probably told it all, but I was about 14, I believe, 13 or 14. Saturday morning, it was a year that it really pulled hard. I mean, terrible guys were. A lot of guys in the country were putting two tractors on one plow.
Oh wow.
Meaning,
Run the chain between a helper tractor out in front
oh right,
to have enough power to plow.
right. I remember my grandpa told me something about that once upon a time. When
Yeah.
they did that once. So.
Well, and see, my dad, he wasn't farming as much then, so I guess he was farming the same still, but he ran combine for a neighbor, because this guy had two gleaner combines that he did custom work with. So my father ran one of those for him through the season. Point of all that being that he didn't get his own plowing. He didn't get to his own work till later than anybody else. I think if you could look all that up and knew what to look for, we probably had a hard freeze in that time. Like, maybe the third week of October. It had a hard freeze, broke up the ground a little bit, so it pulled easier.
Okay.
So at that point, it was a Saturday. He just got out, first started plowing on Friday, and I went out with him in the morning on it was on the 350, and we took off one around the field. My dad, this will get into side things and everything else. He liked to plow, he'd like to lay off a land, plow 2 marks in the end of the in the field. Say this is your field, and he would have been square, but he liked to go out there and mark it in 2 spots like this, and start plowing. Go around the outside of that. Work his way out toward the fence.
Okay.
Nobody else liked to do that because they couldn't keep it straight enough to.
But Grandpa could.
Evidently, it worked there. So he had done that morning before. So here's this. Then he says, "Well, I'm going to go get the H and get out to 2 bottom." I said, "Okay, this is going pretty good." So I stayed in the field with the 3 bottom, and I went plowing. It was probably an hour. I see the H and then the 2 bottom coming out. And see this being the south field. The house was here.
Just trying to
And I saw him coming out toward the field. Okay. I went across the end. You get out. One thing good about this was you didn't have any dead furrows. You just get out at the corner, whip a loop around and drop back in. You didn't miss any ground that way at all or anything. So I looped around, headed out, and he dropped in right behind me. And I'm looking back. He's going faster than I am. This isn't right. I got the red tractor, the one that still has paint on it. I got the big 3 bottom set up here. He's got that little old H that doesn't have any paint on it at all. And he's just back there cruising along. Oh. So then I thought he's going to catch up with me. And then he got off and did something. I think he had to, because it had 2 levers, being a trip. It was a trip bottom instead of hydraulic, so you had 2 levers instead of 1 for manual adjustment. I think he adjusted the bottom probably. Anyway, so I got to the end. Where are we now? We're down here. I was going to let him go, but I turned, I flipped it around and came across the end. And he was right behind me, so at this end, I just swung wide, and he just came and took off just like he knew it was gonna happen that way. I sure didn't. Well then, mid-morning, a little later maybe, I did the same thing, happened to be the same corner. I pulled out and he comes out beside me. Well, meanwhile, we'll explain part of this. See the 350. Third gear with the torqued back was a little bit slower than second gear with the torque forward.
Okay.
They overlapped like that. Well, and he'd left me going in third. That was about all I wanted to do. Even though second was the normal plowing speed gear. But I discovered that if you watch what you're doing, over half the round, 2 different places in the field, you can kick the TA ahead and then take it in straight third, which was pretty good moving for that. He came up, pulled up beside me. He says, "You go in the second or third?" I said, "Third." "Okay, I thought I would have caught you sooner than that." I said, "Well, I am letting the torque ahead over there and until it drags down and have to pull it back." I thought I was going to get chewed out. He said, "Oh, okay." Off he went.
So you did good, huh, Dad?
Yep, I did good.
And why would you get chewed out for that?
Because that's just not something we normally did. You didn't plow in too fast a gear. That's just, you don't do that. I told you to plow in second, in low side of third, you plow on low side of third. That
Because
kind of a
the
thing.
quality of the is reduced when you plow fast.
No, not really.
That's what my
Just
grandfather said.
pull a little hard, yeah.
Something about, I would ask, well, okay, so you have this 856, and you have a plow that's too small for it, so why not just plow faster? And something about it would throw the dirt clods or something.
Mm-hmm. It would throw it farther and pulverize it, kind of like. But we didn't care. We wanted to get the plowing done.
Didn't care what was gonna happen when you had to go out there next time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't care what happened when you had to go out there the next time and run over all those clumps that you'd made.
Well, actually, you had less clumps because you hit it harder, and it would break them up more.
But you weren't probably going as deep either, were you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never did it.
Mm. I don't.
It worked.
And same with these farmers, like second gear was your typical plowing gear.
Yeah, second out of 5.
Second, okay, so then sometimes you would use TA in second.
Not very often. Go to third and use the TA.
Okay, so that's okay, right.
Between those two is what you use the most.
So either second non-TA or third with or without TA, depending upon.
Yeah, and third without TA was pretty rare.
Okay.
But I did do it that day. Or said also that, I don't remember, I think it was the same year that plow started making a clunk in the transmission. It knocked a tooth off in third gear.
Doesn't sound the best.
Might have been part of the thing. It was pulling a little better than, by then we went back to second and finished plowing that way.
What years again were these different tractors acquired?
40,
Approximately
46, 59. I might have said that before. It was 59 is the year I was in kindergarten.
350 was 50.
It was a 50. I think it was a 58. Might have been a 57. If you check it, if you found it and checked it out against the serial number.
Or the 450 was a what again?
I don't know on that one. We bought it quite a few years later.
Should probably write that down. You say the H was what year tractor was in?
It was a 46.
And the 350 was a.
I think 58. It just, the guy had owned it 1 year and came and traded it in for it had a standard drawbar. The guy wanted one with a Fastex, so he ended up trading up that 1 year. So he had a new tractor again, and we still driving around old junk.
Old junk that can do the job.
Oh yeah.
Mighty rule.
No, it was a good move for Dad. He probably should have bought a 450 instead. But and then the 450 didn't come till sometime in the 70s. Like maybe 73, I think. And then,
You say the 350 came in 1953 or 1963? Or
no, 350 was 59.
Okay. So that was very, very lightly used, I guess.
No, that was the horse. That was the pullet tractor then.
But if it was a 1958 model, and you got it in 1959, it was
You worked it hard, but it was lightly used.
Yeah,
when
he
you-
don't. The guy that
Oh.
had only had it a year, right?
Oh yeah, right. It hadn't been worked a lot. Yeah,
Oh, okay, so it's, practically new, I guess.
yeah, right.
And then the H, I guess you would have gotten that in 46.
It got a lot of use.
Yeah, the funny thing is, it's actually the 450 that I probably have the most familiarity with. Yeah, it sounds like you guys didn't really, it wasn't as much part of your operation.
Well, it wasn't for me because I graduated from high school and moved on to better things.
Better things.
Must have been.
Dad was in
Oh,
Yeah,
you
Minneapolis.
mean you married mom
Finally got-
Well, he
after a
was,
little while?
he was in Minneapolis at that time, probably.
Yeah, doing
So he
being a
wasn't-
tire man.
So he wasn't actively involved in the farming anymore.
I forgot, you said that it was only the 450 that was wide front.
Right. Well, no, let me. 450 definitely was. The 706, I can't remember. The 450 also was fast hitch.
How does a fast hitch work?
Oh, okay. It was their version of a 3-point hitch.
I don't know what that is. I'm learning.
Well, you're gonna have to.
learning
You're
and
gonna have to
learning.
because the 656 has a 3-point hitch.
Yes, it does.
I'm not gonna be using that for the things I need to use it for.
Wait, you want me to run it?
Oh yeah.
I gotta learn how to run it. You hear that, Dad? My husband's gonna teach me how to run a tractor.
That's good.
I think I can do it because I learned to drive the manual transmission, so now I've got the theory
Mhm.
down.
Well, it's a lot more to it than that.
I'm sure.
It's like I've heard many women that say they can drive a truck because they can drive a manual transmission.
Oh, no. I wouldn't think that. I would think I had some I think I have a leg up on getting started with that, but driving semi, I would think that there would be a lot to learn with that. I think it would be cool to do.
You know things because, I mean, even with hypermiling and stuff like that, and
I'm learning,
trying to.
experimenting.
Well, what? Treating the transmission so it doesn't have synchronizers, double clutching, I guess. Didn't you have to always double clutch with the old trucks?
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah,
They-
right.
They,
Yeah.
they didn't have, what? They
No.
didn't have synchronizers.
Ah.
Sorry, what?
No, yeah,
No,
that's
that was
what
the
I was gonna
question. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, because I don't think I can get there yet. I still have a little trouble syncing and hitting it at the right RPM. Like I hesitate just a little bit too long.
Well, it doesn't
Getting
matter
better.
because your next car is going to be a self-driving electric car because that's what they all want anyway, apparently. So that you can
I
just sit
don't-
there and play with your smartphone.
And then have a crash. I don't want one of those.
No, I don't really like where my industry is going,
Mm.
and I think it's maybe a bit of a blessing that God limits our years here on Earth, or maybe I can see that in some ways. And I'm not gonna lie.
I got it.
You gotta
Yeah,
quit.
are you done? Thank you for
Well,
sharing all this
I'm done
information.
sitting at the.
Yeah.
Ah.
You know,
I'm sure you are.
That was. Thanks for sitting so long and talking. This was very interesting, actually. Was it not interesting?
it's fine.
It's better than.
I guess I made a bad comment again.
Where? I don't think so. No.
Okay.
He just got tired.
It seems like I don't know.
He just got tired. Not feeling the
I'm
best.
gonna get you another